What's good? What's good, everybody? Wow, we're back again for a very special. I mean, they're all special, but like this one's been in the makings for quite some time. Uh, the Good Service Podcast. I am your host. If this is your first time here, welcome. We're grateful to have you. I'm Joseph Dunham, aka Joe D. Here at the Good Service Podcast, we are your source for good news, wholesome stories, inspiring stories around the awesome works that service-based organizations are making happening around the world. So think foundations, charities, nonprofits, fundraisers, and yes, there are some for-profit companies that do have a heart to serve and a mission for impact within their communities. And with that, we're so grateful for you to be here. However, which way you found us, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, you name it. We don't care. We just are happy that you're here, being a part of the audience in the community today. Those of you who continue to come back, love on us, and show up for us, we're so forever grateful for you. You know what you mean to us as the Good Service Podcast family and friends. So thank you for the likes, the subscriptions, the reposts, the referring of these organizations in your community. You are what drives us each and every day. So thank you for trusting us to be your source of positivity and good news, the number one and the only one in all of the world. So in that, enough about us, enough about me. Let's get to who's on the other side of the screen, the other side of the airwaves today. My guys, Kozy brand, the one and only. It's time. We're here. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce Kozy brand officially. We are joined today by two dynamic creatives and entrepreneurs, redefining what it means to live, dress with intention. Jordan Collins and Momolu Sherif, the visionary minds behind the lifestyle and clothing brand, Kozy. Life, how it should feel. Kozy isn't just about fashion. It's a statement, it's a movement, it's a mindset. Blending laid back, confident energy with elevated design. Kozy stands at the intersection of fashion, storytelling, self-expression, and community service, community impact. Jordan's a multidisciplinary designer, marketer with a background in branding and product, and Momolu is culturally driven, strategic, sales, operations creative. That the two of them are building the brand day by day, year by year within communities spanning from LA to Atlanta, Georgia to Columbus, Ohio. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you all to Jordan and Mo of Kozy. Welcome to the Good Service Podcast, guys.
Man, first of all, you're the man. Shout out Good Service Podcast, man. Thank you for having us on. Thank you for allowing us to come and speak our story. You're doing great things in the community, man. So I don't want that to ever go unnoticed. You know, we're grateful to have you a part of the Kozy team, but even more grateful to be a part of the podcast, man, just to really give back and have impact. So kudos to you, flowers to you. So we appreciate you, man.
Echo the same sentiments, Dunham. Been down since day one. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the work that you do in the community. Appreciate this podcast. Really spreading the Lord's work and doing the Lord's work every single day. So, man, big ups to you. Honored to be here today. It's an absolute privilege. Been a listener for a while, so to be a guest is amazing. Appreciate you and thank you for having me and Jordan on.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I also want to touch on that beard, man. It's looking real healthy, man. You know what I'm saying? You're my inspiration.
We could talk offline about the beard care, man. It doesn't have much longer. It doesn't have much longer. You know, winter is the beard month, and as we're transitioning out post Super Bowl,
Looks great.
we'll see. We'll see. Folks like it. I'm like, I guess, but nah. Nonetheless, man, like I'm gonna be smiling this whole time, yo. Like, you know how much love I got for you both as friends and as business partners, and just for who you are as men, men of faith, men, right? That's number one, but men of integrity and just men of your own communities and what you do every day in your own respective lives and how you show up. So this is like a long time coming. I appreciate the flowers. I appreciate the love, uh, on the camera and behind the camera, right? Because you all get to see a different side of me that a lot of folks don't. So I'm just grateful to have community and to be surrounded by greatness.
Absolutely.
This is far from about me. This is about the two of you and where we go back and where this all starts. So I do appreciate the flowers, but it's time. It is time to dive into how did Kozy even come about? What are we doing? Where are we going? How the people can get involved, and just really sharing your story and then how this is more, again, than just a clothing and lifestyle brand, right? So um, I say that's a great place for us to start for our listeners. Jordan, I'll have you kick it off, and Mo, I'll have you follow suit around anything that Jordan might have missed or from your own perspective. Let's talk around the origin story of who Kozy is and how we got here to this day. So please also share a little bit of your life journey because that's also major and going to do a lot for our community and our listeners. So the floor is yours, Jordan Kozy.
I'm Jordan Kozy, co-founder of Kozy Brand. It's been a journey to say the least, right? I'm a marketing professional. I've been doing marketing for about 12 years now, digital marketing. Really, I love it because I'm able to learn like the psychology of people, right? Understand more about what people like to buy, how they react, how they listen, what they like when it comes to clothing, when it comes to branding, when it comes to marketing, and really just understanding the why. I think that's really been the passion behind marketing for me is really understanding people's why and then helping them achieve those goals that they're looking for, right? And even with Kozy, Kozy has come into it started as more of a clothing brand, right, where we put out luxury basics, high end things that make people feel good. Because at the end of the day, people love nice things, but at the same time, it's still affordable and still for people to be a part of their life, right? Rather than us just wearing them, we want them to actually be a part of our life. So that's where the community comes in hand. Kozy really started from an idea in my brain. Really wanted to build out something that was like a passive income. Started with slides, right? We were thinking about doing slides and it came up with the name Kozy. Ended up going to a store called Aritzia and seeing all the cool things that they have for females. And I was like, oh, wow, we should do this for guys. So approached my goat, Momo Kozy over there on the right-hand side. And, me and him just really locked in and we figured out exactly the vision that we wanted to put out. He really allowed me to kind of conduct the vision and him being the engine of really like getting things done. So I don't know how many times I can voice this on every single platform, but I can't do this without Mo and without Joe as well. But just from a co-founder standpoint, I couldn't do anything or couldn't make any movements without Mo. So I'm forever grateful for him. But yeah, like I said, we're just really a lifestyle brand that's really looking to impact the community. We want you to feel good spiritually, physically, emotionally, and mentally, right? So at the end of the day, if we can present that experience for you, then the clothes and everything else kind of sells itself. Really grateful to be here, man, and just happy to speak on it, right? And just knowing I got a three-headed dragon right here on this same podcast with me, and we're able to kind of talk about our own experiences, our own journey. I actually came up with this last week, and I haven't really talked to y'all about it yet, but really Kozy as we continue to really expand out and like scale to these different branches that we have, like it's really just a reflection of each of our journeys, right? The brand is just a reflection of me and Mo's journey. The Cares is a reflection of Joe's journey. The Kozy U is a reflection of Olga's journey, right? And then we have Jordan as well with the media. So like I'm looking at this now as like really a community impact of our journeys and being a reflection of us. And as they can see a reflection of us, they can also have that feeling for themselves, right? Because at the end of the day, I've always wanted to like, I never knew what I wanted to do in my life. I just knew I really wanted to be free, right? And I wanted to be able to really wanted to live. Having this opportunity, having this God-given vision to create Kozy has been easy. No, not at all. Not at all, right? But at the same time, it's very fulfilling. And to be able to really impact other people to know, hey, this came from my head, and now this came to Mo's head. Now Mo, Joe, and Jordan have the vision to bring it all the way together, and now we can scale it up together. I mean, that's priceless to me. So I know I just had a whole mouthful, but that's just really how I feel about it.
Oh yeah, say what you mean what you say. Talk it out. Talk it out. That's what we're here to do. So, no, beautiful, man. Beautiful. A lot of gems in there, bro. A lot of gems in there, right? You having a vision, you having an idea, realizing like, man, going to one of your best friends since, dating way back, which we'll get into. and being like, hey man, I see this opportunity here, but I see this opportunity with you, right? Like with us, like there's no this without me plus you equals it and what it will become. Listen, y'all, if y'all have that vision, if you feel some type of way about something that God has given you, a download of sorts, a vision of sorts, for the assignment, for the season, we're not meant to do this alone. We're not meant to do this alone at all. And my pastor talks about it all the time. Within our church, he's like, hey, know 5 and walk with 3. So, it's a special thing when you have a team. Jordan didn't get 6 rings by himself. Bron didn't get 4 by himself. Kobe didn't get 5 by himself, right? Tom Brady didn't get 7 by himself. So when you really look at it, it's like having that community around you and that team of people that you can trust, who are like-minded, who want to give in such a way as well. So, no, man, you said a lot there. But I wanted to surmise like one strong bullet point. Amen.
Nah, and I just always had a vision, and I always had a vision when I lived in LA. I used to see, it's not a comparison thing, but I always seen like people doing it with their friends, right? Really coming up, and it's not about the money, but making millions of dollars with their friends and their family, and like that was just always inspiring to me. Like, yeah, I could go get a job and make $400,000 or $500,000 if I really wanted to, and go really hard. But like the fact that we can do something that gives us freedom, and we get to do it with our people is like, again, priceless, bro. Like nothing towards that. So doing this with y'all is like, even when I'm tired, bro, I'm like, let's keep going. Like the vision is clear because I know how it's gonna look at the end.
Facts on it. Momo Kozy.
Momo.
Yes, sir.
My guy.
No, man. Appreciate it. No, to Jordan's point, I think it was maybe back in 2020, and obviously COVID, my life's kind of slowed down. Salesperson by trade. It's what I do for a living, day to day. And one day Jordan called me, and I think we probably had like a 2-hour conversation. Heart to heart, heartfelt, talking to me about Kozy, what we can do. And I really just want to say big ups to him, for including me, being inclusive, asking me to be a part of this journey and this vision. To Pastor's point, but they always say, hey, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you should go together. And that's exactly what we're trying to build here as far as a sense of community. I met Jordan back in college at Ohio University, Bobcats, 2011. So yeah, we've been locked in.
Yeah. For y'all that
Correct.
don't know, Athens, Ohio, ain't nothing out there besides
Shout
that
out.
school.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Baby.
Yeah. So we've been locked in for a while. Ups, downs, turbulence, from living in Ohio to living in LA to living in Atlanta now. But seeing the vision and just staying down, and not switching up. So, when Jordan kind of talked to me about the vision, I'm more of a behind the scenes guy. I think anybody will tell you that I'm not really big into a lot of content, or I'd rather be behind the scenes. I don't really care about the credit. I care about that check clearing. So we were trying to figure out where I could fit in, and it was really in the operations of being project management, getting things done, getting the brand out there. And ever since then we just kind of been going up. So it's been awesome so far. And I think we got a ways to go, but I can see that things are starting to happen, and I'm very happy to be a part of this brand, and be a small part of it that keeps the engine running.
I cannot cut him off. He's not a small part of it. there's no Kozy brand with no Momo Kozy, right? So I know you like to do that, man, but I'm always kind of stop you in your tracks and be like, bro, like your value is as heavy as mine, right? I could be the vision, but like we can't get things done. Then there's nothing, right? So,
no doubt. Everybody plays their role, and I really appreciate that. The words of affirmation have been rolling today. I mean, that's one of my love language, so I appreciate it, man.
Man, look, y'all, get around people that love you and you love them.
Facts.
Even when they get on your nerves a little bit, even when you have the same vision or you're working towards it.
I feel like that's key though. Like I feel like
it is
having similar visions, but then having different perspectives, and there is healthy conflict. that hasn't helped me in jobs. I'll tell you that, but it's very healthy is to have conflict, right? Because again, we're not the same, and I feel like if we're disagreeing on everything, then we're not moving forward. It's like you have
Absolutely.
to have some things that can challenge your mind. And me, being a zodiac sign person, being an Aries, like I love to have my mind challenged because it allows me to find solutions. It allows me to find new things and new perspectives that I never thought of. You know what I'm saying? Like having that perspective and having that awareness allows you to know that you don't know everything. So that means you can get more because you don't know everything, right? When you know everything, I feel like you kind of limit yourself.
No, without a doubt. Yeah, I couldn't agree more to that. It's Proverbs 27:17 reads, right? As iron sharpens iron, as one man sharpens another. Um, when you think of metals, like iron can't be sharpened by anything else. Aluminum, like we can go down all the list of metals, but the one that's going to sharpen that other iron is that positive friction. Is a healthy conflict, is a healthy debate, right? A round table around what are we just, where is the misalignment? Not from I'm mad at you or you're not understanding, but hey, this is where I'm coming from, or hey, I need to be able to let you know you're tripping, bro. I need you to step back, right? Or you're not acting like Joe D today. You're not acting like Jordan Collins today. You're not Sherif today. We need to figure out what's going on and what funk you've been in, and to have that loving conversation with you. That's major. That's major. I know you guys have had that for a very long time. I mean, you used to live together back in the day, right? Like as you're going through college, and you're finding out who you are as an individual, and then figuring that out within like an apartment or a house, whatever you were living in during that time, and it was a lot then. But for you all to stand the test of time, that says something. That means something to be here as business partners. Jordan, to your point earlier, doing it with people you love. They always tell you, oh, don't do business with family or friends. It's like, what? Those are the people I know the content of their heart, right? I know their character. Those are the people I can trust the most, and I can have those conversations. Business is just tough because you want to leave your feelings out of it, and not be tied to outcome as you see the big picture and the vision and getting there. So, no, man, I would love to pivot a little bit. Mo, you hit on this about you guys going to OU. But what's that journey been like? What was your first impression of each other back in the day, seeing each other grow to this point, right? Like, what has that been? So, Mo, I'll start with you on that, and we'll pass over to Jordan. But I would love to.
So, great question. Jordan came in my freshman year. We were on quarters, so we did fall quarter, and then in winter quarter, Jordan transferred in, and we were just in the same dorm. He was probably 2, 3 doors down. And first, I'm like, all right, cool. We got another black person. Like, we got another homie in here. Like, that should be straight. And then, like, as you get to learn more about him through winter and spring quarter, it's like, all right, this is the homie for sure. And then, really, where things started to take off was our sophomore year. We lived in the same dorm in Bromley. So I think he was on the ninth floor. I was on the eighth floor. So we started hanging out a lot. And, my initial thoughts were like, hey, this is a real cool dude. We have the same interests. We both like Michigan football. We both love sports. We love music. And I think the music was a big key connector, right? Jordan always just sending me tunes. I was like, man, you need to be an A&R or something. But that's how we, built a friendship. But as you know me, Joe, like as we get into a deeper relationship, I'm pretty open book. Like I'm quick to share anything about me, especially if I trust you. Uh, and I tend to garner trust quickly, and I think I tend to trust people pretty quickly as well upon meeting them. So we just, have had in-depth conversations, and as we went through school, and as we partied together, and as we have had lows together, just being there to support my guy. But he's always been someone that I've always respected and appreciated, just for his support of me. And as you can see, like Jordan is a big amplifier. He likes to big people up, right? He gives people confidence, and I love that. That's gonna hype your man's up, gas your man's up, to give them that extra spirit, that extra juice that they need to get through life. We know life isn't the easiest. Every day is not just picture perfect. But Jordan has that positive mindset and positive attitude that I really appreciate, and that's where we really synchronize. Because I think I'm a pretty big optimist in itself. I like to find solutions. I think that things are usually going to work out for the best, especially if you're putting in the effort, you're putting in your reps, and then you're also keeping God first. That alignment of us two, which we probably didn't figure out until maybe after college, but uh, it's all been a great time. There's a lot of stories that I probably can't mention on this podcast because this is the Good Service
Good
podcast,
service. Good
but
service.
just know that the times were had, bro. The
No,
times were had.
no cap. I could definitely speak on that. From Finzel to
Yeah.
now, first of all, that's like 15 years, which is crazy.
Fenzel doesn't even exist anymore, bro. It's crazy.
No, no, damn. So yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, that just shows like a memory, right? But I just feel like me, Mo, and Dan really just like synchronized
Shout out
freshman year.
Dan. Shout out
Shout out
Dan. He gonna
Storch.
watch
Shout
this.
out
I know he gonna
Storch.
watch this. Shout out Dan.
So he
Absolutely.
really synchronized freshman year. Then, like Mo said, Bromley, that's when things took off. That's when we really locked in. We started having a lot of shared interests, kicking it, watching Michigan games, like you said, watching NFL football game. And I feel like one thing I'm really good at is I'm like a connector, right? So I always want to make sure like friends and people I'm cool with are cool with each other. So that's how you met Dave and T and all
Yeah.
them, because I really wanted everybody to be cool with each other. That was like to Mo's point, I am somebody that's always going to hype you up or allow you to kind of. I like to see the best in everybody, right? And Mo has given me that praise, but he's also gotten on me. So this is another reason I'm very thankful for him, is because I can be an optimist where I do see it and I'm like, you got it, you got it, you got it. He's like, hold up, just bring you back down real quick. You got this. Let's take it one step at a time. So that's really helped me be a lot more grounded, right? Because you need that. You need both sides. You got to have that fire, but then you got the water where it's kind of like balancing it out. So I'm very, very grateful for Mo on that end. And then as we just, we've grown, like you said, we've had lows and highs and vulnerable conversations. And I moved to LA and I was living in Airbnbs. He was like, bro, you sure you're doing this right? Like, are you sure you don't need no crib? You don't need no job? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. And he just always kind of brought me back down to square one, but at the same time, always brought me up too, right? It was never a bring me down to where I'm down. It's just bring me down to where I'm grounded. So then these ideas that I had in my head, I can actually execute on them. So that was just very, very, very grateful to have a friend like that, right? And to have a brother, you know what I mean? Like I don't have no big brothers or anything, right? So, and I'm the oldest. So just kind of having that brother aspect of like, hey bro, I can talk to you about this and you can give me your perspective, right? Because I got a sister, so she can't give me the same perspective that a broken or a man or whatnot. So it's really deeper than the surface, and I always tell him that. I always say it's 25L because I ain't have what he has, right? Like I admire how you got two brothers, right? Because they've been able to kind of lead the charge, right? And for me, I could just kind of tap on somebody that has had that structure, that has understood and had those experiences, and then I can kind of go from there and use my own experience from that. So, I mean, like you said, it's been a journey. And then post college, right? I mean, we didn't work. I've been in LA for 10 years. He was in the A for you're in 5 years now, year 5.
Four years now.
4 years. So this is really about where you're about to hit your strides, year 5, right? Both of y'all. A good service to you too, because you've been there 5 years. I've always heard like when you get into those major cities, year 5 is where you really start striding. So be ready for a big breakthrough year for y'all. But yeah, I mean, I can't say it enough, and then Joe, you've been a brother since day one as well. Since I've met you, we just kind of just always held it down. You always been real, straight up. Like, and again, sometimes you need that, bro. Like, you really do need those homies that's gonna be straight up with you. That's gonna tell you what you need to hear more than what you want to hear, and also tell you what you want to hear, right? You want to hear the flowers and you're doing great, but then also kind of being like, hey, bro, like, let's realign, let's get this together, let's make sure we push this and that forward. And then everything ended up working out. Go back to my point, like I've always wanted to do something with my bros, right? And to see this, like my influence was Cool Kids. And again, it's never a comparison. But I saw 6 homies work together, start a store in Virginia, right? Go up, 3 of the friends moved to LA, went crazy in LA and moved their friends up to LA. Like I was like, whoa, okay, like I could do this with my And one lesson I had to learn is, yeah, you got homies, but at the same time, you also got to make sure those homies are aligned with what you're trying to do. Because Mo could tell you, I used to scream about the other homies, like, hey, I want them to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, and like for real, they just wasn't aligned with it. And there's nothing toward them, there was no shade or anything, but it's just having that judgment early. Because I tend to trust people pretty early as well, but now I've learned to have more discernment to be like, okay, let me actually listen to how they're speaking. Let me listen to exactly what they're doing. Let me watch their actions. So then when I present them with an opportunity, if it doesn't go the way I envision, it's okay, right? So.
Yeah. Facts. Now, so we got the origin. It's just so beautiful, man. Like, I wish I could hug you both right now. I mean, obviously, Mo lived down the street. So that's a blessing. Just by the grace of God, like, bro, we was down the street in Columbus, down the street in Atlanta, still very crazy. Still just not real.
It's just been gang.
Man, that's all the way. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. You definitely. Oh, we got trust. What's to come for Kozy and Kozy Cares and all of the things. Can't wait to dive into it. A lot of great things happening in Atlanta, Georgia, very, very, very soon on that. But no, man, I appreciate you all just very so vulnerably sharing your story, how you met and how it's been since then and where we're at. You both have used mindset. You've said it earlier. Mo, you said it again a moment ago. Jordan, right? You're talking about vision. You're talking about being in the right mind. One question I want to have, I'm excited to ask you about to tell the story and to share is, making that shift from just wanting to be a lifestyle clothing brand to, hey, let's impact the community in this capacity as well, not just having you feel good and being a part of wearing our stuff and feeling good in the stuff, but it's really about driving change, being the change, and where that all started with that social impact and that heart to serve in that capacity through the brand. So, Jordan, I'll allow you to kick us off there, and Mo, you again follow suit, fill in on just what it means to you to serve within the community, when this happened and why it happened, and letting everybody know when that mindset came about.
If I had to start, I would say when Kozy first started, it didn't have those intentions. It had the intention. It was a marketing project for me in my head because I was like, okay. And I seen this Master P video where he was like, services are great.
Oh, bro, you said Master P. I could. No.
You're insane, bro.
No
You're
doubt.
crazy.
But I see this Master P video where he was like, product is key and services are okay. And I had just lost all my clients for marketing for COVID. So I was like, all right, I need to really figure out a product that could work for me. And I can really push this thing forward. I was never a clothing designer. I just understood the marketing aspect. So I was like, okay, how can I build a brand that everybody knows about? Because I have good relationships, right, and great connections. But how can I get somebody to know about it and it not be like a crazy thing that they don't want? So, like, for example, like a $3,000 couch. Like, everybody doesn't want a couch and doesn't want to spend that much money. But everybody wears clothes, right? So I was like, okay, let's start in the clothing. And then just kind of as the journey has gone, again, I'm not a fashion designer, so I know me and Mo were dropping collections. This is just from my chair. This is kind of where I see the change. We're dropping collections, and I just really wasn't feeling fulfilled after a while. Like, I felt like we were just kind of doing it just to do it. And then I had to really tie it into being like, why am I doing this? Right? All the questions I asked my clients and, wanting to help them with ads and lead generation and stuff for their businesses, I'd ask myself that, like, why am I doing this? Right. And I tie back to myself to understand, like, this is a journey for me that I've been going through. This is also a journey tailing from me and Mo. Like, our journey's not the same, but we are still on our own journeys pushing forward. And then obviously, when it happened with T, that was just kind of like the cement. That was just like, like, I don't even care about selling clothes that much, bro. Like, I lost one of my best friends, right? Like, and I ain't never gonna be able to talk to my boy again. So, like, that was where I was like, nah, like, I'm already practicing what I'm preaching. Like, I got a morning routine. I'm waking up, I'm praying, I'm journaling, I'm reading. going to the gym. Like that's non-negotiables for me, right? And to see somebody so close to me that sees me doing that didn't take that same approach. Again, they don't have to do exactly what I do, but like now, how can I show through what I'm doing that that is a huge impact? So that's where we went to the mental wellness space of being like, okay, we want you to feel overall better from spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. Like that all goes hand in hand. Like if you don't feel good mentally, you can't really be good physically, right? You can look like you got a six pack, but inside you're just tore up, right? And I've been there, right? And being in that space, then losing one of my best friends, and then calling my best friend and telling him that he's gone, and that just like rocked me, bro. And I was like, all right, like this got to change, right? Like, dude, I'm not doing this stuff just to do it. Like, I got to do it for some type of impact. And then, like I said, after even having that epiphany last week of being like, hold up, like this is a journey of every single person that's part of this team right now. Mo is going on his journey, his sickle cell journey, his injury journey, his head injury, like stuff like that. Joe, you've been on your own journey as well, you know what I mean, from a nonprofit standpoint. So like, how can we incorporate everybody's journey into this one brand? And then now all we're going to do is influence everybody around us because I'm not gonna lie, we're some trendsetters. We've been trendsetters and people really follow us, bro. Like as much as we want to be very, very humble about it, and I'm humble about it, like, but I also know, like I have now come into my own, like, hey, I totally understand that people do listen to what I say or value what I say. And same with you, Joe, and same with you, Mo. Like people, even though Mo doesn't want to do content, when he pops out, people like, what's he doing? What's he talking about? Like I need to tap in with Momo Kozy. You know what I'm saying? So for us to know that we have that influence, it's time for us to really make that impact. So that's where the mental wellness events is coming in, us getting in the community, like building around it, even the NIL stuff, like leaving impact on these athletes. So it's like, really, how can we impact other people rather than ourselves? And then now this is like bigger than us. So that was a whole win, but that's really where that came from.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. I'll just add my 2 cents real quickly. It won't be as in depth, but um, I think we realized early, you can't just be about making the money. You're trying to get rich off of people, but not help the people. You're not serving the community, but you asking the community to just pay. And that came from a conversation that I had with our other brother, Dinar Joel, Nardo, Dinar Pickney. And I know we're name dropping a lot, but this is a community, right? We take advice from a lot of people, the people that we respect and care about. And he really helped me see that vision that, hey, if you want to do something great, you need to represent the community, whether that's through the spreading the positivity, the wellness, the mental wellness. And that's kind of what our separation is from just being another brand, right? Of just, hey, we're selling another crew neck, we're selling more hats, we're selling more clothes. It's like, but it has a reason. I hate that it had to be like this, but our brother Tamani passing away due to some mental wellness lapses and maybe not have the strongest mental health. His mother, Miss Julia, she created the TC3 Foundation, and that was our first kind of into being like, hey, but to partner with another foundation that wants to spread the same message that we're trying to spread. And since then, I think it's just, like you said, we all have our men of faith. So, trying to serve and do what we can to help others because we're on the platform. And I think uh, that's the part that I really recognize is, hey, you don't always just, especially for young black boys, you don't have to rap or go to the league, right? You can do other things. You are talented in more ways than none. So if you're preaching a positive message that way, I think that's how we became kind of really rooted into the community aspect of, hey man, you do have a voice to Jordan's point that people do listen to you, people do follow you, um, because of the way that you carry yourself. So I think it was that shift right there where it's like, hey, this isn't just about selling t-shirts, it's about making an impact, um, everlasting, a legacy. And I know we talk about that all the time, Joe. So I think that's really where the switch changed. So that's probably around like 2023. So about a year into to doing everything, or at least from our first release since we started out in 2020.
I also want to say this too, and it's something y'all don't know yet, but I want to tell you how the event we just had impacted folks. Right, I had about I probably had about like 10 messages right after the event. Obviously, this was just more of a community building networking event. One of the messages literally said from this girl, she was like, I was just telling my best friend about the event and how it was a nice social way to meet people and make new friends. She was like, you wouldn't get that in Columbus anywhere else. She was like, so keep it up. So like, even just like small messages like that, like I had a dude say, hey, bro, I met 11 new people tonight. Like, people don't get to just say like I meet people, right? Even our photographer Jerry, appreciate you for having me out, bro. The event was amazing. He was like lots of great people in there. So it's just like, people are really in it, right? And we created something that was so much different than what they're normally used to. So they're used to going to the bar and seeing the same homies, and there's nothing to it. You know what I mean? It's always good to have fun, but the fact that they were able to have a fresh vibe and they took some impact away from it and being like, yo, this is the type of event I need to go to, right? The music was great. It was quiet enough for me to be able to connect with people. I got to see a whole bunch of people that live in Columbus I've never met before, and I feel like I've met everybody, right? So it was really cool to have, like I said, like I had people that do HVAC, electricians, creatives, content creators, DJs, photographers, nonprofits, bankers. Like there were so many different people, and we were just able to kind of like bridge the gap and just allow people to connect with each other. So that was great.
Yeah, man. Oh, I appreciate the vulnerability that you both shared. With where the shift in the brand came from, right? Of like, hey, let's just run up the bag to let's serve the community, right? And there's always a nexus event of some sort that has it's at a very young age or it's at some point in your life journey where you're operating within that assignment and you're like, wow, like this is the actual purpose, this is the why. So rest in peace to Tamani and he's looking down on the both of you. I had the chance to meet him through you two on multiple occasions, and just an outstanding man. Unfortunate that mental health is an illness. It is. It's an epidemic. It has been. It's only getting worse, especially within the Black community. In my own family, I've had failed attempts. Thankfully, it's something that hits home for me. And I remember when Miss Julia started the TC3 Foundation. I'm like, I will buy everything because it's going towards the organization and it's her way of honoring her son and who he has always been. Just in those final moments, didn't have a chance to be his full self, but you all remember him as his full self, and he's looking down on you all, just so proud. So know that. So know that for sure. And yeah, Jordan, to your point, like to be in the community and to put together events that aren't just around alcohol, around let's get lit or let's do this. It's like, no, we're here to connect.
Mm-hmm.
Right? People from all walks of life, ages of all walks of life. Like you never know what conversation you're going to have, but the goal is to come in as yourself unmasked, cozy up, right? Allow the cozy vibe to really seep into to your fibers and to your being in that moment. And just, I had friends reach out to me that way. Like, man, this is my first cozy event. Like, I wish you were there. I'm like, we'll get there. I'll pull up one in Columbus at some point this year. But the fact that they feel comfortable enough and confident enough to go without even me being there and being like, oh my gosh, I met Jordan and he's wow, right? Just like again, that's what this is about, is to serve these individuals wherever they're at, because when they are part of the community, that's what it's about. It's about us in the communities. Like I said, when we were texting, seeing the video that Eddie put together, I'm like, man, I don't get FOMO often. I don't. But man, that was one. I'm like, come on, man. If I could teleport, I'd be boop, bada beam, bada booze,
Same.
hanging
It was,
out.
it was one of those, I ain't gonna lie. It was definitely one of our better events, right? I think it was just better because the vibe was different. And it wasn't like when we did Fluff, like everybody was there and we like knew everybody, right? It was like kind of Pickerington and, close friends and familiar faces and stuff. But this one, I probably knew 60% of the people. that's what made it even harder because it's like, all right, Columbus is already, and I know y'all see me put that video out, or the shorties post that video on the podcast where I was like, man, break up y'all's little cliques. But I meant it though, you feel me? Because a lot of people are just very like segmented, and it's like, if you're not in my circle, then I ain't rocking with you. So I'm trying to like break that because I do know a lot of people in different circles, and I'm not technically in a circle. Like it's just kind of just me, right? So I'm able to kind of like break into it, I guess. Which doesn't sound great, but I'm able to kind of get inside and just be genuinely me, authentically me, and just have that relationship and be cool with people. So where I'm like, hey, pull up to my event, and when they pull up, like Ashley, she came through, she was hyped to see me, right? And then she brought her friends, and they had a good time. They're like, "What is Kozy?" So I explained it to them, and everything ended up really working out exactly how it's supposed to. And the vibe was just different, man. It was just like it gave LA in Columbus, and that's what people were like really earning for, just something fresh. So cool.
Yeah. It's people are yearning for community.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. We see it within
No doubt.
we see it within our men's group, the Bible study here. Again, shout out to Pastor Vincent Campbell, the Faith Center and discipleship groups. I've been blessed to be obedient, have the courage to be obedient to lead a men's discipleship group. Because I was like, I'll be a part of one, and God's like, no, you're not. You're going to lead one because I need you to do other things, and this is where this starts. And so, 4 years in, which is crazy to say out loud, just men are like, I'm looking for this. I'm looking for community. I have homegirls that are like, hey, do you know any women that have a women's group? Right? Let's just like to do life together and to do it in like a refreshing, authentic, real way. You don't want to, have to not be yourself to be accepted in society, in life. And we live in a world, a very secular world that really puts that on. Like, hey, show up as someone that's not who you were born to be and God made you to be. And that's tiring, that's taxing. And when you have spaces and community as such, like Kozy, where it's just like show up as yourself, and we're gonna love and accept you, and you'll be additive in whatever way that is. So no, man, I love that. But of course, shout out to TC3 Foundation and Miss Julia. And again, thank you all for vulnerability is strength. So thank you for being strong and sharing that story with us and how the shift all came about. So with that, speaking of shifts and movings and all the things, we're now moving into the second part of the show. It's called In Good Light. So for our first time listeners, check this out. In Good Light was supposed to be like a rapid fire round. I ask a question, it's like a one word knee jerk reaction sort of thing, but good questions require good answers, and that was never a one word answer. So just a more fun way to get to know who's on the other side here of this episode and conversation. So really excited to dive into this. We'll start with Momo. Kozy. What is your favorite piece that y'all have done up to this point?
Joe.
You're right. Well, we have done up to this point. What is your favorite piece?
Man, I think they keep getting better and better. But honestly, the legacy jersey for Tamani is my favorite. I wish I could go grab it. I was actually thinking about wearing it today, but I think we got 3 different colors: green, brown, and black. And I just thought that was the most impactful, right? To do something in remembrance of T was awesome. We got the 3 on the back, so I think that's really cool. I think it's very designed very well. So shout out to our designer. But I think that's one of my favorites. And then also, I would say a second one, and I know we're going to bring this back probably later on this year, so stay tuned, was the windbreaker suit. Those are my favorite. It gave us a real like 90s nostalgia feel, but the coloring and just how they were designed, we only did 50 of them, so super exclusive. Very nice. You can wear them in the spring, you can wear them in the fall because they're light, but they're super nice. And if you haven't seen them, I know we'll get into the IGs, but follow us on Instagram and we'll pull up some pics. But those 2 for sure are my favorite for now because I know we got some more heat cooking up.
For sure. Well, you took my answer. Those are both my answers.
Sorry.
Jersey is crazy. Obviously for my boy T. And man, Jordan wore that joint at the event on Thursday, and I mean, I had 7 people like, "When are you bringing these back?" So that's something that we might have to entertain coming summer. Do a small drop. And the windbreakers, I would say the windbreakers. One, because like you said, they really elevated our style. It came from just doing t-shirts and crew necks and really like not plain style type of thing, but it really just elevated and gave us like a elevated aura, which was the collection name. But then I also love the new stuff, right? Our new stuff, like our new hats, right? Like it just our hats have gone from a toboggan to like a scully, like to where it actually fits really well and it's maintained really well. The quality is really well. Our crew necks have pockets in them, right? And we've changed up the design a little bit. So like seeing our crew necks, maybe our crew necks might be one of my faves because you really
For
never
sure.
see crew necks with pockets, right? You know what I'm saying? Stop playing with the pocket, though. Like nobody ever had the pocket in the crew neck. So and then the K's on the zippers, right? Just those small details and our mental wellness patch on the side. I've always been big on details, keeping things simple, but really a lot of impact. So those are probably my favorite 3, I'd say. Hard to rank them because they're all really fire. Right? Just depends on if it's summertime, you know I'm putting the green jersey on all day, green and brown for sure. I like all of them, but green and brown probably my favorite by far. And then that green windbreaker is just busting.
The money green. The
Even
money
when
green.
Joe wore it for first ATL streetwear, like going crazy. That
Wow.
was
What a
Crazy.
good
what a
time.
time it was.
That was some good times,
What
boy.
a team that was. Yo, all right,
Yeah,
I
no.
gotta share mine. I gotta share mine.
Go ahead,
Uh,
bro.
I mean, come on, the tracksuit. Like that just tracksuits, it's always been like from the pants to again, like you only made 50 per color, right? And it was the
Nah,
30 50 period. My fault. 50 period. So seeing that on the jacket, 38 out of 50, right? People are like, man, I know. Oh, like every time I wear it, folks are mad because like they know they can't get it. And it's like, so we got to bring it back, different design. And it's just comfortable. It is very, very comfortable. I love the new beanies. I mean, I have every variation of the beanie and fitted caps. So my favorite. And then the long sleeve t-shirts. Obviously, this is one of the first renditions of it. It's got the circle on the back. It's how life should feel, right? Like cozy. Like this is. I'm like, I'm mad I didn't get this in other colors. Uh, but the crew necks are obviously up there. And then the sweatsuits, of course. I'm like, man, I should have got the sapphire sweatsuit a long time ago. Didn't. But it's like, hey, we'll bring colors and things back another day, another time. But yeah, we love it. We love it. So
the best product we got.
The socks. Yeah. And now I was thinking about that. I was like, the socks are the best on the marketplace.
Yeah, like there's nothing better. Blowing Nike out. Just wait until we get in them stores, boy. Ain't nobody ever gonna buy a Nike crew again. Kozy Cruise. Stop playing.
Cozy Cruise with the
No
pocket.
disrespect to Phil Knight, but it just
No
is what it is. Just
what it
is
is.
what it is, bro.
It's so good. So good. Some of our staple questions here at the Good Service Podcast when it comes to In Good Light. Jordan, we'll start with you. Where did your heart to serve come from?
My heart to serve. This is like going back to something Mo said to me, and I never really realized it. I always seen the best out of people because I just always knew that like God put it in me to have the confidence and to believe in myself. But I also seen people that didn't believe in themselves. So I'm such a solutions person. It gets me in trouble sometimes, but I've always wanted to offer a solution when somebody like has it, when it's a small thing to a big thing, right? And he's always showed me that I just, dang, I low key get emotional thinking about it for real.
That's
I don't know. I just always seen the best out of everybody, man. I just always want the best for everybody because I just knew we can all do it. I was blessed at one point. I ain't had the confidence that I did, right? I was a big kid and I always tried to fit in and think I wanted to see it this way, but really I was like having my own path designed for me. And then as I've had that path designed for me, I understood that the freedom is really what I'm craving for, right? So that's why I'm big on source, right? How can I search the source and get to where I want to get to internally? And then how can I put that out? Because if people see me and I have an influence, right, to people, I need to put out good. I need to be able to put out my routine. I need to be able to put out. I journal. I read. I go to church. I pray. I pray to God about everything. I pray to God about Kozy every single day. Like, please continue to give us the resources, give us the tools, make sure my team is protected, make sure everybody is positioned the way they need to be. Make sure that they're seeing their own purpose out of it. Like anybody that's on our team, I'm always like, hey, what do you want to do? Right? Like, how can I empower you? Because yes, you're helping us, but how can we empower you? So I look at that as serving, right? Because at the end of the day, a lot of people do have a purpose and they do have dreams, but they're just like, they just might not know, right? I'm not going to say, hey, they're not driven or they're not motivated. They just might not know how to accomplish that. And it really starts internally. So that's kind of where my passion to serve comes from. Really started with me, right? It started really building my own confidence and understanding that it was possible to build confidence, right, in myself. So now how can I impact other people and, show them that they can have that in themselves as well.
Man, that's so good. That's so good. I yeah.
You want me to answer that same question or a new
Yeah, I
one?
want you both to answer that. I want you both to answer
Okay.
that because in my research, I'm like, let me go ahead and because
Yeah.
there's only 3 questions, but like this one, like your heart to serve is just such a beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, where does that come from? And that really is. It's a making of who we've always been, but in these moments when you are doing what you're doing, I'm doing what I'm doing. It's who we've always been.
Yeah.
So like, where does that come from? Is it family? Is it faith? Like, was it an epiphany type moment, right? So would love for you to share where your heart to serve comes from.
No doubt. Great question again. You talk about it, hey, it's just kind of in us. And I kind of agree with that. My family comes from humble beginnings, right? My parents came to this country in 1990 as immigrants, refugees, right? My dad had to work 3, 4 jobs just to make ends meet for us to, and I look at my parents. My mom was a social worker, job and family, Lucas County Job and Family Services for 20 plus years out of Toledo, Ohio. So, helping people in the community. And so I got to see that kind of on a day-to-day basis. She would have sometimes patients come into our house or we would go there. Kind of from my parents, right? My dad did everything for us, serving the family in other, in all possible ways. And then I think I've really just been guided by you, Joe, honestly, and by God, getting into the church, going out to do community service. And like I said, it's like I've been blessed to be in a position to where things have gone well for me, right? Able mind, body, and spirit, good job, good friends, great girlfriend, great partner. I have the ability to go out and do the things that I want to do. So it's honestly a blessing to be a blessing. I know you say that all the time. We just went to church on Sunday and Pastor C said, like, stop praying for all these blessings. You praying to be blessed, praying to be blessed. Like, pray to be a blessing, to serve and to help other people. That always stuck with me. So I just think that serving is just kind of a part of our routine, right? Of where we can help out in the community and help others. The world is obviously a crazy place right now. And we could go on for 2 hours about that, but if you can
Boy,
do a couple good deeds, or in this case, good service, I think it's best that you do. It also fulfills you, right? Like I don't know how many times we've done #lunchbag where you just feel better about supporting the people that are in your community that live here in Atlanta. So I think that's really where it comes from, and just being a product of my environment, being around people like you and in the D group. It's really has impacted my life over the last few years, I think, tremendously.
I was going to mention that too. I was going to wait to the end. It's you, buddy. You in the middle.
ha ha ha
No doubt.
ha.
It
Yo,
really
yo,
is. It really is, man.
oh,
You
come on,
you
man. Y'all
you
really want to
motive you
see.
motivate us to do
Yeah.
that. I'm not
Motivate
gonna.
us, brother.
It's not a joke, bro. Like, it's inspiring to
That's
see
where
your will to do that, and it's like that motivates us.
that's where Kozy cares came from.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, definitely, I want to go out and serve and go give food to the homeless and stuff, for it to be formalized as a nonprofit company that is really leaving back an impact. That's all you, big dog. That's why we're grateful for you. How about that?
Nah, I'm already
No
know.
doubt.
Y'all really trying to see a pimp cry today. See a pimp cry today.
Dang, brother, where's the affirmation? Just stay
It's
flying today, brother.
flying, y'all. So, nah, man, that's thank you for sharing, Mo and Jordan, in that. Heart to serve is a serious thing, man. And I mean, it just, like you said, it feels good to serve, and it's okay. It's supposed to feel good. It'd be really weird if it didn't feel good to serve, right? So, it's written all throughout the Bible, of course, as what we're called to do. Jesus himself was the ultimate servant and servant leader, and he went to earth's end, and even further places to serve us. So it's just a very, very special thing, and I believe it's the makings of a man, as Martin Luther King said. What constitutes a man is a man that takes care of his community and his family, and is a man of integrity. And it's like, damn, I can stand by that for sure. We have a Good Service podcast, most definitely, because we about good service, and we about the good of others before self. Mo, for you, on that topic, what is your definition of good service?
Man, that I was looking at that because as an avid listener of the show, I always hear this question and people always just have these like inspirational answers, and I was like, man, I don't know if I'll have an answer that good, but for me, I think it's just helping those in need that who necessarily can't help themselves. You know, doing things out of a good heart, right? Not for content or because hey, I'm gonna get this in return. It's just doing things because it's the right thing to do. Like it's never a wrong time to do the right thing. So I think if you can help the people that are in need, I think that's perfect. And then also just supporting people that maybe they can't help themselves, but maybe they need a little nudge. So just supporting, being supportive, whether that's through words, whether that's through actions, just kind of being a genuinely good person, I think is a good service, is really what's important to in today's age.
Absolutely. No, bro, that's a fire answer, bro. Don't be out
Thank
here.
you, bro.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I was listening. I was like, listen to a couple others. I'm like, man, people are powerful with their message. But
You're
I try to
powerful
keep
with
it
your message, bro.
try and keep it simple, bro.
Hey, listen, you're powerful with your message, bro. That someone needed to hear that exactly from Momo Kozy.
I hope
And I
so,
can't wait for
man.
them to hear that and to see that and to be like, that hit here. Let's go
Yeah.
get to it, right? So,
Yeah.
Jordan, for you, finish this sentence. The world would be a better place if.
If we would unite.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because I feel like we just all, like, with all the stuff going on in the world, and I'm not even the person to be of the world, right? I'm in it, but I'm not of it. And I've really learned to like disconnect myself from it because I've learned that it's all a lot of distractions. And it's really a lot of distractions to keep us divided. Because they know the power of unity. We come together, just like us on this podcast. If we didn't come together 3, 4, 5 years ago, then we wouldn't be here, right? So I think the world would be better as unified, right? Because I think it wouldn't be controlled by 3 or 4 or 5 people. It would be controlled by the masses because we're the ones who actually can make the decisions. We're the ones who can push things forward. Obviously, with God's direction, us really being in tune with Him. But the unity is so key, right? Like our Kozy doesn't go anywhere without a theme. Good Service Podcast doesn't go anywhere without listeners, right? You need that community. You need that unity. Unity is just community, right? But unity is like bigger, right? We got all,
Drop that bar, son.
you know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
We got to be able to come together and know that we have differences, right? Because I think that's another thing is like we're very divided because we have different opinions or different outlooks, but like nobody's the same, bro. We all have different fingerprints, right? So like it's like me and Mo, like we might have a difference and be like, you know what, bro? all right, like this is gonna be the conclusion. We come to this, right? It's like, hey, let me hear from your side, let me hear from my side. How can we meet in the middle? And that's like true unity, right? And that's how you're able to work together with people and get a lot further. So that'd be me finishing.
Yeah, bro. That's tough. I'm with it. I'm with it. I can't wait. I can't wait to share this with the world and for people to hear and people to feel that, because I agree wholeheartedly. Right, like you dropped that bar, absolute gem. Unities within community. Right, like the compound word of communication and unification is community.
And
So
I just think we're too like conditioned to not learn how to problem solve, right? Or have conflict interest, right? And then again, it's not, we look at that type of stuff as a negative, and really it's not, because we are different than each other. I used to preach this previous relationships, previous jobs. It's just like, hey, I'm not like you, but like I'm willing to work with you, right? And I think that's what really sets me apart a lot differently than other people. And it's not as noticeable. Like people are kind of like, you're weird because you feel that way. And it's like, nah, it's like, this is the way of the world. Like I'm different than you. You're different than me. How can we talk it out and figure out a solution, right, to come together? Because unity is everything, to be honest with
yeah, no, without a doubt, without a doubt. So good, so good. Oh, y'all went crazy. Y'all
you.
went crazy. Been going crazy.
You already know, bro.
Oh man. Where does Jordan for you? Actually, you both, right? Like when you're thinking like design, like where does your creative sense come from? Like when it comes to putting the pieces together, is it inspirations of what you wore as a kid, or is there an athlete or a celebrity or someone that has a certain style that you're like, man, like you know that
Go
inspiration
ahead.
to Kozy?
Go ahead, Momo, before I answer. I know I got to answer.
I think for one, I think both in Jordan and I were really into fashion and clothes. For me, if you know this or if you know me, you know that I was a huge Ralph Lauren fan, big polo guy, all pretty much my whole life. So that was a lot of my inspirations. I like a lot of different brands, like a Kith. Me and Jordan both really like that. But I think for us, like our creative process when building new collections, we take inspiration from different brands and different people. But we usually plan early and usually around seasonal themes, and then it kind of starts with, okay, well, what is Kozy, right? We're built on authenticity, built on being comfortable, we're built on being confident, and that when people wear our pieces or light our home good candles, that they feel like them authentic selves, and that they feel confident and they feel good about what they're wearing. We want the pieces to uh, fit into who they are as a person. So from there, then we go, okay, what pieces do we think are hot? How do they fit into the season? What colors? So, right, we usually have that as a broader discussion with the team to bring in ideas, because it's like one thing me and Jordan have realized over this journey is like we don't know everything. In fact, we don't know a lot. There's still a lot of to learn and grow. And then after we, kind of get the feedback, we kind of break that down into, okay, we're feeling this, this, and this. Do these reflect who we are? And I think one of the biggest things is we don't really try and chase those trends. We're not trying to be like other people. We kind of focus on what feels good to us, and then we try and bring that, capture that with our designers and manufacturers, and then we try and bring that to the people. That's a little bit about how it goes. Obviously, it's a little bit deeper, but just a little snapshot of how things have been going so far.
Yeah, I'll cocktail off of that, saying it just like it's not trendy, but it's like what pieces are in. Obviously for the season, I'm huge on colors, especially since we're like more male centric. Obviously, we have our female, but more tailored towards the men. Men don't really know what they want to wear, right? They don't really know how to broaden out their color spectrum. I'm huge on colors. If anybody's ever seen me dress, I will put a yellow shirt on quick. I'll put some orange pants on quick. To stick out though. Mine was always for me to stick out because I'm not like I'm social, but I'm not like a huge conversation starter. So like if I have something that's popping, right, that just kind of starts the conversation. That's just from my peer. But I'm huge on like, really, really trying to keep the element. Like we want everything to feel comfortable. We want everybody to feel like their best when they put it on. They're like, yeah, I'm feeling real good. I feel cozy, but I also feel stylish, right? So that's kind of what goes into it. And like Mo said, like through the journey, we've learned that like we don't know everything. And me and Mo are very simple. We'll put a crew neck on, a hoodie, some sweats, call it a day.
Yep.
But then now that we have a team, like, shout out Jordan for joining the team. And we know as we start implementing her designs and her ideas and her creativity, that now our brand is just going to skyrocket up. It's not going to leave the aesthetic that we created. Like, it's still going to have the colors, it's still going to have quality and whatnot, but it will have more eccentric pieces where it'll stick out to other people. More people will learn about Kozy. Because at the end of the day, it's just about brand awareness for us, right? And how the clothes are built, they'll kind of tell themselves. So we'll always have our core basics, like you said, our candles, because they smell great and they make you feel great. We'll always have our tees and our crews, which are our core products, and our socks. Those are something that's really carrying us forward. But at the same time, you'll have some type of design that might stick out, like a windbreaker, right? But then you also have those basics where you can come back to. So we want to try to please everybody, but not everybody, right? We want to please the audience that's right for us, and the people that understand quality over quantity, right? Because that's why we do have higher price points. And Mo will tell you, I probably got text from Mo from 2022 of saying, why is this so high priced? But now I continue to go through the journey, you can kind of understand why things are priced as where they're at. So, it's been a journey.
I love it. I love it. Man, I got so many questions. But this is probably the last one, and it's the biggest, well, a very big one in my opinion. Uh, this past holiday season, Kozy had their first ever sickle cell Kozy Foundation toy drive. Um, what led that, and why was that so important for the brand, and for the community, um, and how was the result of that? Right?
Send that to that guy.
I'll take this one since this one was really heavy on my heart. So for those who obviously are just getting to know me, for those of you who do know me, I suffer from sickle cell anemia, which is a rare, actually not that rare blood disorder, but it affects a lot of people, probably 100,000 people in the United States, and it affects a lot of African Americans. So I'm in a good city to treat it. You know, I don't even think Jordan, you probably knew in college, and Joe, I don't know when you would have found out, but it was something that I was kind of ashamed of, to be honest. Like I didn't want to be looked at as different, or hey, this guy needs special treatment, or basically no one likes talking about their health, and it's just like obviously it's nothing I can do about it, right? It's something that I was born with, but it's something that I really used to keep on the low, and I just knew that there were certain things that I couldn't do, or certain things that I needed to do to make sure that I stayed healthy. And it's kind of amazing that I made it through OU with limited crisis and pain crisis. As I've gotten older, as I've revealed and found out more about myself and who I want to be and who I want to become, I just felt like this was something that needed to happen, and it's like I can really be an ambassador for this illness and this disease. I've done trial drugs, and the big thing is, since I was a kid, the doctors would say, "Hey, you are a lot healthier than a lot of kids, younger, older, in the same age group as you. You're not as in pain. You're not having as many crises." So I always felt like I was blessed from that perspective. When you go to the sickle cell clinic, or in Toledo at St. Vincent's, kids are in incredible pain, and I've been through that, right? I still go through that from time to time, and through my pain crisis. So I just wanted to spread a little bit of holiday cheer and bring that idea to you, Jordan and Joe. You guys rallied around me to for us to create our first tour drive for kids with sickle cell, using donating those toys to Hugh Spalding Children's Hospital of Atlanta here at Grady, and then also donating money to the Sickle Cell Foundation of Georgia. Shout out to their CEO Tabitha McGee. They were a huge help in helping me get organized. Obviously, I've never done anything like this, so for the first time to raise over $1,500 for the foundation, and probably another $1,000 in toys for the kids at the hospital, meant everything to me because I was one of those kids, right? Receiving those or receiving those gifts, and then being able to receive treatment as well. So, shout out to their missions and aligning with our goals of just being able to support the community. It was something obviously near and dear to me because of me and my brother both have it. So I wanted to make an impact, right? I wanted to serve a calling and a purpose of something that I really cared about, and I really just appreciate the support of that. It's been awesome. We have other foundations and other companies that we want to work with, but for this first one, I wanted to take the lead on it because it was something that I felt that from being ashamed, but then also realizing that I have a platform and I can make an impact. You don't have to. It doesn't matter how old you are to start making an impact or to provide a good service. I felt like this was the right thing to do, and it meant a lot to me. So very, very, very thankful. And as you can probably tell, I'm very passionate about this because, I tell my girl all the time, like, I got to make it to at least 85, which a lot of sickle cell patients do not make it that far. But keeping my health most important and being able to spread that word is very important for people coming up and the people behind me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, it's we've been friends for almost 10 years now. And when I found
Hmm.
it's always just like so grateful, right? You said it earlier that you're an open book. You're more than willing to share things, and we talk about the future so much sometimes, and just our goals and aspirations. And we do talk about the past and the things that have made us, but you never like, hey, what's going on with your health history? You
Right.
obviously had the opportunity. It was when you had your the aneurysms.
Yeah.
It was when I found out you had sickle cell as well. We didn't talk much about it because there was a lot of other things going on during that time
Tell me
too.
about it.
Um, but just to know you as a friend and now see you as a businessman, I've always known you on the business side through where we met at Tech Systems years ago.
Yep.
So shout out Tech for one of the few great things you did was bring a lot of great people into my life.
No
This was
doubt.
one of them.
Easy.
You know, really God by God's design because that's a whole nother conversation for a whole another time. But to see you light up how you have in that moment, like, have you ever done toy drive, Joe? I'm like, nope, but we can figure it out. Ain't nothing but a G thing. Shout out to
Yeah.
Tiffany Oakley. Shout out to Tiffany Oakley for
Yep.
being the GOAT
And,
and a
and
great
Marcus.
and Marcus Gillum as well. Tiffany Oakley is a great friend of mine. Marcus Gilliam is also a great friend. Also was a part of the Good Source podcast. He's a one of the heads of the Southside Aviator, a nonprofit. So just super excited that they were able to help us game plan and make things happen from that perspective. Just grateful, and it was just awesome to see you in charge of the initiative and to use me how you needed to, and to use Jordan how you needed to, and to make the impact because you really brought some joy to a couple hundred kids this season. So I'm excited to see how this continues to grow and the continued impact that it'll have. But
Yeah,
um,
man. Thank
just
you. Thank you. And
congratulations.
thank you to everybody that donated or bought a gift to our Amazon wishlist store. Shout out to y'all for making an impact as well. Because you guys didn't have to do that, but you did do that, and we really appreciate that. So I want to just give a shout out to our community, the people that rock with me, the people that rock with us, uh, for really, lending a helping hand, especially around the holidays. I think it's super important around that time of the year as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, with that being said, unfortunately, we're here. It is that time of the show. Before you go, as it sounds for our first time listeners, this is it. This is the closing of the show. So this is the opportunity. I'm going to fully give the floor over to both Jordan and Mo to share how to follow uh, Kozy, what's going on with Kozy in this year and years to come, all the initiatives, all the great things for the rest of the year of 2026, and as we continue to grow and make impact and do dope things with dope people. Please, fellas, share your socials, share how people can support, follow, all of the things. The floor is yours to shamelessly plug away.
You want me to do it? You want me to start?
Go ahead, Jordan.
Jordan Kozy on all platforms. Instagram, TikTok, whatever you name it, I'm there. Jordan Kozy with an underscore at the end. Stay Kozy for the brands page, staykozy.com. So all our branding is together. So you don't have to think no differently. Everything is Stay Kozy, Jordan Kozy, Momo Kozy, Joe Kozy, everybody's Kozy. So make sure y'all plug in with us. Big things coming in 2026. I won't disclose everything, but a lot more community events. So if you've never been a part of the Kozy community, definitely tap in with us. Stay tuned into the page. Stay tuned in for some events that we got coming on. Great things coming. Artists performing days, mental wellness vendors, the whole nine, right? If you want to get involved with the community, do. If you just want to get involved with us, please do. We got some things coming, and we're grateful for all the helping hands that we get. We're grateful for all the buys, and then we're also grateful to give back, right? It's a tale of both sides. So we appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll see y'all soon in the Kozy community.
Yeah, just to reiterate that my Instagram is momo.cozy. Pretty much find me on Instagram for the most part, and Twitter. And then, so that's moss10 underscore MOS10 underscore on Twitter. And then staycozy.com for all the heat that you need coming up in seasons to come. I'm so millennial. Joe, you said, what are we gonna try and do over the coming years? It's just like Pinky and the Brain. Pinky asks Brain, what are we gonna do today? And he's like, the same thing we try and do every day: take over the world. That's where it's at, But honestly, on a seriously note, like major expansion, getting into retailers, having a bigger presence. I see the vision of maybe even our own flagship store, Jordan. I really see us really scaling at a massive clip over these next 2 to 3 years. Collection coming soon for March. Working on right now, so I think you guys should be on the lookout for that. More details, like I said, momo.cozy on Instagram, and then we're just gonna keep pushing, staying grounded in our community with our families, and letting God steer the ship, and kind of just following His footsteps day by day. But really, shout out to you, Joe. Shout out to you, Jordan. Shout out to the team. This has been wonderful. I really appreciate it. I can't wait for it to come out.
Same.
Yeah.
So man, keep going, Joe. This is definitely needed in this space, in this time, day and age. As you keep putting out fire content that's positive. I know negativity sells, but don't worry, brother. Your time is coming as well.
Your time is here, buddy. Now, remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate y'all. Closing remarks, and you both can take this, or if one of you wants to. But anything that's one last thing that's on your heart for our listeners, for our viewers, for our community, those that are here for the very first time, those that continue to come back, you know how this goes. Just one last, word of encouragement, a word of affirmation from our guests here. So I'll turn that over to you before closing this thing up respectfully.
I'll go and I'll let our CEO close us out. For me, man, if you're out there listening, if you want to go do something, you got to go do it. And don't worry about what people have to say, the negativity, the fear of looking dumb might be holding you back. Don't worry about that, man. Be yourself. Believe in yourself. It's a full-time job, believing in yourself. But you just got to go after it, right, man? We're on this earth one time. If you want to go do something, you just got to go after it. With a full heart and confidence. I know sometimes confidence can be shook. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, but just stay grounded, stay present, and keep going for yours. That's what I would leave you with.
So mine, bro. It's all good. Keep going. Keep going was gonna be my last remark. I don't know if y'all ever heard the song "Never Stop" by Future, but if you need to drop a tear, get motivated, go ahead and listen to that song one time, man. It's gospel right there. But I would always say, just keep going. I don't look at negativity as much anymore because you kind of have to understand that those people that are being negative towards you, they just wish they were doing what you're doing, right? So just make sure that you're able to just keep going, have trust in God, walk with Him, like He says, His footsteps, it's His journey, not ours, and just really just walking in that faith. I walk in faith literally every single day because sometimes if I was sitting in my head, I would know where I'd be, right? So that's where that mental wellness and mental health is really, really important, man. Find a routine for yourself. Find something that pours into you. I think I've been telling this to a lot of people lately, but I think we pour so much energy into other people's task of work and, trying to be there for them and hearing about their problems or their solutions or whatnot, but that we don't even give that time back to ourselves. So it's really important to really give that time to yourself and, understand what works for you, what routines work for you. I think a lot of people use the word really loosely, but boundaries, um, rather than boundaries being like, hey, I don't like when you do this. It's kind of just like, hey, I just like to be treated this way, or I like to be moved this way, right? And respecting other people's boundaries, right? So I think that's key of really just like understanding you and learning about you and what you like and what you don't like and how you want to move and whatnot. Not saying yours is the end all be all, but that's just how it is for you, right? And you're able to change and be more open, right? That's been my lesson personally, is acceptance and being more open, right? Open to ideas, open to things that are coming to me, right? Everything happens for a reason. Sometimes we think things happen to us, but they're really just happening for us. So yeah, that's kind of how I close it out.
Hey, yo, fire. That's the only way to close this amazing conversation, amazing episode with two amazing men, three amazing men here representing.
I was about to say something.
I know you were, but that's why I said what I said, right? It's not if, it's when. We're not trying, we're doing. So I knew he was about to go. I knew he was going to sing for me. But no, it's y'all heard him, right? Don't be afraid. Go live your dreams. Go chase your dreams. We're only here once. Be the confidence. Have the confidence. Surround yourself with people that know you and that would encourage you to go do the things. And sometimes you gotta be the encourager. You gotta find a way. So, just again, so well, beautifully said by the both of you. I'm so grateful for this moment that we're here. It's happening. I can't wait for this to touch the airways and the world and all the good it's going to do for so many people. So again, just grateful for you both as businessmen, as friends, as partners in this thing as we continue to go and grow. So with that being said, yes, keep going, because that's a big thing. That's one of my favorite sayings, is keep going. And yes, you know who we are here at the Good Service Podcast. You know where to find us: YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. The TikTok is getting figured out. Fan base is getting figured out. All the other great things and platforms that we have on the way are still being built, but you'll be able to find us there. But of course, it's the Good Service Podcast. It's the tag, and then email us as well. The Good Service Podcast at gmail.com, referring those organizations in your community that are doing amazing things to make this world a better place, because we won't touch all four corners of the world without you. We need you. So we love you and we thank you for our first-time listeners and those that have found us. For those that continue to come back, you already know what it is. All the love, all the way. But I'm your loving host, Joe D. And see us again here soon for another amazing episode of the Good Service Podcast.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, sir.